Hey everyone, thank you for watching another episode of me watching an episode of Huell Howser. My name's Alex Stein, and if you like this video, please like and subscribe, and that means I'll make a lot more then. So thank you guys so much. Let's dive in. This is another episode of Huell Howser, visiting with Huell Howser, and he's going to go to the Warner Brothers lot. And just so you know, I haven't seen this, so we're going to be watching it for the first time. If you haven't seen it before, let's enjoy together. I love Huell Howser, and I hope you guys do too. And if you haven't heard of him, don't worry about it. This is when you dive in. So here we go. Huell Howser.
Visiting with Huell Howser is made possible through a generous grant from the Ralph M. Parsons Foundation.
I also want to thank KCET for uploading these
Hooray
episodes.
for Hollywood! Hello, everybody. I'm Huell Howser, and there's nothing more exciting than Hollywood. And there's really nothing more exciting than visiting an honest-to-goodness movie studio in Hollywood. And that's exactly what we did years, actually decades ago. We took the VIP Warner Brothers studio lot tour, and boy, did we have fun. Now, a lot has changed since then. Our tour guide, Dick Mason, has retired. The tour has changed a little bit. Some of the cast of characters, some of the stops along the way have changed, but basically the tour remains the same. You can still visit the Warner Brothers lot, just like we did years ago. I think the tour lasts about 2 hours and 15 minutes. It's $49 a person, takes place Mondays through Fridays. It's well worth going on this tour if you really want to see Hollywood behind the scenes. So what we're going to do right now is go back in time on that original VIP Warner Brothers tour to show you a little bit of an honest-to-goodness movie lot in Hollywood. Actually, it's in Burbank, but that's kind of splitting hairs. It's all Hollywood to us.
Attention to detail.
Hooray for Hollywood. Enjoy the tour.
We're technically watching
Well,
a
here
video
we are.
of Huell
It's
watching a video.
9:30
now. This
Wednesday
is
morning. We're at
very
gate
Inception.
4 of the Warner Brothers studio lot here in Burbank. And we have been invited here to take a VIP tour of Warner Brothers. And our tour guide is
Pointing at
Dick
him.
Mason, who is literally a living legend on the lot here at Warner Brothers. Thank you very much for inviting us on this tour.
Pleasure. I'm glad you could come.
Now, what's going to happen today?
We're going to take a total look at the studio. Everything we show on the tour is practical. We show the working people, the working operations of the studio. So the tour is a little bit different every day. It changes each and every day.
Now, this is actually the first group that's leaving. They
This
leave
is-
every 30 minutes, right?
About 30 minutes in the summer, every hour in the winter. This is our first tour out. This is our 9 o'clock tour. They see a little film in the office.
Sorry about that.
Then they get out of here about this time, and then they go on to walk around the lot. No routes involved. It's all very spontaneous, very informal.
Well, we ought to fit right in because we're very spontaneous and informal as well. We're going to be kind of following you all and maybe catching up with you throughout the morning. Have a good time. Do you have any idea what you're going to see?
Well, hopefully just about everything.
You think you're going to see
ins
any?
and outs.
Think you're going to see any movie stars?
Hopefully.
Any movie stars?
Yeah, we hope so.
Who do you want to see?
Maybe the new Batman,
Oh.
Val Kilmer.
You going to have fun?
Yes, I think so.
Oh, that's an accent. Where are you from?
Germany.
Germany. Okay, we'll see y'all later.
Couldn't guess that.
There goes the first tour off. Bye.
Everyone has no
And
idea that
Dick,
they're going to be on
we're
camera.
gonna get in our
with
own
Huell.
little-
Group up. Here we go.
In our own little
Most
van.
episodes
Come on
too,
in,
you see
Louis.
Huell when he interviews people, they always do like
Our
a
own
lean
little
away
card
from
here.
It. The mic goes in and
Let Louis get in here, and we're off.
All set?
Huell doesn't
We're
like to
set.
cut. It's
All right, here we
long
go.
one shots.
Now we're just going to sit here and quietly listen to you give us the.
The spiel, the
The
tour
spiel,
Which I
Yes.
love. I love the
Well, first
the
of all,
minimal
we're in
editing of
two
this.
main areas at the studio. We have what we call the back lot and what we call the front lot. Now, we cover both in the tour. Back lot simply means the area where we have the exterior sets. Some of them go back many, many years. Some of them are fairly new, but they're redesigned, changed over, and they're used both for the motion picture and the television work that we produce here. The lot is very large. We have about 110 acres in here. We got 34 stages to shoot in, and there's between 5,000 to 7,000 employees in this lot. on any given day. But as I said, the first area is going to be over here to the left. And we like to, show some of the outdoor areas, describe some of the set pieces, some of the history behind them. There's a terrific long history to Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers made their first film in 1918. And they got over here to this lot about 1928, 29. They moved over here from Hollywood into Burbank and began to expand the lot.
Okay, now I'm seeing for the first time this looks like the back lot back here.
Exactly. We're going to be going over that set just a couple of minutes. That's called Hennessy Street in that section there. And between all these set pieces for filming, you notice a lot of office buildings. These are all production buildings. There's 9 of them in the studio, production buildings 1 through 9. They house writers, producers, directors, executives that are working on current and forthcoming projects with the studio. So all of a sudden you got an office building, you got a set, you got an office building, you got a set. This is the way it's built through the whole lot. So it's a really interesting mixture, and there's well over 160 buildings inside this plant.
Wow.
So it's, we're a very, very, very large operation here.
Now wait a minute, here's Warner Brothers Television.
Yeah, one of our main television offices back in here. I'm taking you around this side over here because we've got behind these office buildings, we have an interesting set I want you to see. We have Producers Building 4 over here and to the right, on this side over here.
There's our tour
yeah,
group over here. We're passing them up.
Well, they're getting a few questions going there, so. These are the people that, she's explained that these are the people in here that are the executives over the shows like Lois and Clark and Sisters and Murphy Brown and ER and Friends, and the list goes on and on of all the various TV shows that we have this season that we hope to have, some have already been, of course, renewed into the new season.
So is this a busy time on the lot right now? Are there ebbs and flows of?
No, we're usually pretty busy because if the TV shows aren't working, we have about a 25 feature a year schedule here. We've got pilots that we're doing all the time. We have a lot of rentals that come in from other studios. We do commercials in here. We do record album covers. We do a few rock videos. So the lot is very versatile as far as what we can do in here. And on any given day, there could be all of those types of projects going at one time in here. But going past the television buildings, we're going to a set which has been here since the 40s. It's called the Wooded Area, or Jungle, if you will. And it's a fascinating area. It's been here for a very long time. It's been used for hundreds and hundreds of shows. And I'm just going to take you through one side section over here. We kind of just whip around. You wouldn't think you're in Burbank anymore now, would you? Got a little lake over here. It's a little bit damp because we wet this place down all the time because of all the foliage. A big part of the foliage back here is not native. Is not native to Burbank. This has all been brought in and planted. You go back to such shows as Private Benjamin, China Beach that we did successfully here. You go back to Humphrey Bogart features in the 40s. You go back to Flynn pictures in the 40s.
Let's get out and take a look here.
Okay.
This is great. Now, would we have seen this in some movie?
Absolutely. You've seen this hundreds of times in both motion pictures and television shows. For example, we did a very successful series here called China Beach that's been, in syndication right now, and they did a lot of work back here on that series. We did Homecoming, which is a very emotional show about the World War II period. We also
looks like
shot
Phil Donahue.
Sisters back here. Lois and Clark, the Superman series, they still come back here from time to time. And such major films as Camelot back in the 60s. I'm going back a few years, but this was all where they did the Lusty Month of May number. We did Finian's Rainbow back here with the late Fred Astaire and Petula Clark. We shot a lot of footage back in here for The Great Race with Jack Lemmon, Tony Curtis, Natalie Wood. Barbara Streisand worked back here, and For Pete's Sake with Michael Saracen. So, I mean, you can start naming it. It's been done. The FBI series, which was on for 10 seasons, they did a lot of work back in here. We did a kidnap story where that was the original reason why they built this cabin that's over here to my right. That was put up for that segment, and it's never been taken down. We keep revamping it, changing it, using it for other things.
So this is basically your forest on the
wooded
lot.
area. Forest, wooded area, or jungle. All three fit the bill. Depends on what day we're here. But and the foliage is amazing because people come through here, they just take for granted. But you have to realize that most of the stuff in here is not native, obviously, to Burbank. It had to all be brought in, cared for, planted. This is a created environment, which is an amazing thing, and it's all done for close-up work. You go to the South Sea Islands, you shoot 3 months there, you got 5 or 6 pickup shots to have to do, you come back here. That type, or you're in Africa or India, or you name it. Any jungle you want on the planet, we can recreate in close-up a piece of that back in here.
And fool the people at home.
Well, enhance the show and fool the people both. Okay, I like to think of it that way.
Okay, the tour continues.
Okay, here we go. Over here to the right, we have the Old West, our own Western town, which is a very complete set. This is built also in the 40s. Randolph Scott used to make Westerns back here. When I first came here, I worked on a film with Alan Ladd, who worked back here. Gary Cooper worked back here. Kirk Douglas, Henry Fonda worked back here. Robert Mitchum worked back here. John Wayne's worked back here. You name it. They've all worked back here.
This looks like, but look at this. You've got the modern office building in the background.
No, that's our new bridge building, but you shoot 1 inch above eye line beneath that for your shots in the town. You don't see that. You shoot below that, and you're in good shape. You recall a film called Blazing Saddles? Mel Brooks, we did that film here in the 70s. Alex Karras punches a horse and knocks the horse over. Do you remember that shot in the film? That was done back in here. And we shot Bonanza for 5 seasons back here. The last 5 years it was on the air. This was all Virginia City for Bonanza. Used to shoot High Chaparral back here, the original Kung Fu 18th Century series. F Troop was back in here. Maverick, Sugarfoot, Lawman, Colt 45, Temple Houston, you name it, we've done it. They've all worked back on the set. Maverick came back 20 years later with Garner. Remember when he was an older, we did that for a season or so back here. North and South miniseries, Roots, as miniseries, with that type of thing.
There's our tour group over there.
Yeah, they're looking around, guys explaining what's going on back here.
You know, he loves people.
And
That's
look,
what I love about
Louis,
Huell.
over here, you can look right through the gate, the livery stable
rather talk to
gate,
the everyday man.
and there's the other side, a modern office building.
Obviously that gate's shut when we're shooting. You get the inside look when we want the gate open now. I'll just give you a quick swing around this side of the set, give you an idea of the size of this thing. It's a complete set. You know, we do a lot of horses roam around here, and we chase people through here, and we have cattle stampedes going through here. You know, you name it, we can do it in here. So it's a pretty complete set.
These are historic buildings in their own, or historic sets, because they're not actually buildings.
No, but you're right.
In their own right.
For what they represent and for the years they've been here, they really are museum pieces, and we try to take good care of them, and they get used all the time.
You got the little church right here.
Yeah.
The Freewill Missionary Church.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, this has the look of it. This looks like a western town. Well, it is a western town.
It is a western town. Your Cheyenne, the Clint Walker series we did for like 9 seasons here. They used to come, they were here in this set every single week. But as I said, this kind of started off with Randolph Scott. He was the guy that really worked in here a lot to start with. We're going to go through those gates. I got something very interesting to show you next. Something we're very proud of here. We're kind of like the first studio to do what we've done on this. We have a terrific way that we set up our wardrobe division. A costume department is what we call it. And we're going to go down through here. This is a brand new building. We've been doing a lot of construction here. We've been adding to the studio in a tremendous way. We've built a new bridge across the LA Riverbank, which connects Hollywood to Burbank, which we put in. We built some office buildings, including this beautiful structure here, which we're going to go right through the middle of. And of course, with all these buildings, you have to have parking, so we go with a big parking structure. But that's not what we do, just only a parking structure. When you work in a movie studio, you got to make more use of it than just a parking structure. And that's what we've done. The basement of the parking structure is the wardrobe division, which is all the costume department of the studio. And the costume department is what we're going to look at next, where they keep all the wardrobe.
Now we have gotten off your little golf cart because you wanted to bring us inside
Yes.
to
Your
show
little golf
us something.
cart.
I wanted you to see the costume department where we keep all the wardrobe at the studio. It's a very, very big division. This is all underneath that wonderful new parking structure we put up. And we have acres and literally acres and acres of clothing. Bigger than a football field. Why don't you step inside and take a look right through here.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
As far as you can
Marcos would love this. Look at this. This is amazing.
Well, right along here, look, all over the back, the shoes.
All of these
of pairs
shoes,
of shoes.
the whole wall.
And the lights go on and off as you walk through on sensors. That way it protects the wardrobe from the lighting when you're not using it.
Look
and
at
any
this.
era of time you want, male, female, any size clothing, duplicates. We have all the wardrobe from all the past history of the company. We have what we call star wardrobe sections, where we have wardrobes to do with major stars that have long since passed away, but the wardrobe still remains and has become very famous.
Look at these. There's a whole thing of just women's hats up here.
Yes.
Look at this.
Anything you want, we can dress you.
Wow.
Please dress him.
This is something. Now, if you
What's
got
up,
a
on Huell?
favorite place in here,
Well, I'm partial to the historical stuff like the Camelot days and the knighthood stuff because as I said, I had the pleasure of working on Camelot, and I find the wardrobes for those types of projects to be very fascinating. Western garb, you know, because of the 18th century. And, you know, every show has its history. We did The Music Man, which I had the pleasure of being on the set for, and we had all the wonderful costumes made up for the kids in the 76 trombones number. And we still have a lot of that clothing that's in different sections around here.
look at this. It's just literally as far as you can see in every direction. Clothes.
That's well taken care of.
Oh, we lost him. Catch up.
Goodness gracious.
I wonder what it would be like to be the
How do you-
cameraman for
I guess you
Huell.
know where everything is.
It's all marked and separated into eras of time. We have military costumes
be
to
his
do with
eyes.
different wars that have been fought in the history of the world.
He's always moving.
Different countries of the world, you name it. If we don't have it, we make it, and if we make it up, we add it to the stock. And stuff is being manufactured all the time in the sewing rooms and the tailor shops here.
So if you want to be a fireman, here it is.
if you want to be a Ghostbusters, type
Look at this. If you want to be, oh look,
astronaut costumes,
space boots.
absolutely.
Space boots.
We've been in space many times in this place.
Cosmonaut and astronaut helmets, respirators, Japanese helmets, paratroopers, U.S. and British.
Those are World War I helmets over here.
Oh my gosh. Motorcycle outfits over here. Look at this, Louis. Now, would Marlon Brando have ever worn one of these?
He's worked here a couple of times, but unfortunately the wild one was made by Columbia.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But he's worked here. And of course, thousands of pairs of shoes, every type of shoe, every size of shoe that you'd want to find.
Now, here's some people here. Now, what are you looking for over here?
We have a call for somebody who's looking for the outfit that John Kennedy wore when he was a little boy, with the Peter Pan collar, the short pants, the little dark jacket.
So you think you can find that here?
I'm looking. I think I might.
Are you looking under
Children.
children? Well, good luck. I hope you find it. Is
Thank
that
you.
the deal? You work here full time and you just get calls from various movies or TV shows looking for a specific item.
Sometimes that's what this call is. Somebody's doing a pilot and is interested if we might have this before they take the time to come over.
Wow.
Yeah?
Well, good luck. She's
Thank
looking
you.
for John Kennedy's shorts. And here we go.
Okay, let's go right through here.
Well, we have left the costume department at last,
Right.
and now we're in another
Midwest Street.
Midwest Street.
This was built in the 40s. The original design of most of the set was for two major films that we made. One, the storefronts to the right here, those were constructed originally for Saratoga Trunk, a film with Gary Cooper, Ingrid Bergman, made back in the 40s. The homes in the block over here to the left side,
Look at this.
they're
You-
just designed like shells. These were built for Kings Row.
You feel like, look over here, Louis. This looks like a town. Look at these houses. Let's go down this way. Look at this.
Yeah.
This is
Anywhere USA. we say.
wow.
We did The Music Man back here. We did Bonnie and Clyde. We did Gremlins. The first one, John Wayne's last movie, The Shootist, was totally shot on the set. And we used to do all the TVs like
Shootist.
Homecoming Sisters and Lois and Clark, all the way through the detective shows we used to make, like Sunset Strip with Zimbalist, Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. and Roger Smith, Eddie
Oh,
Burns.
let's
and-
get out right here.
All right.
This, I mean, look at this. This is absolutely.
It would have been funny
Now,
if they cut
is there
away from the
anything
wardrobe
behind the
department
door?
and he'll just had
They're
a different
empty
shirt on.
shells.
Can we open the
it's like-
door?
I don't know if it's
Feathers
locked down. We could
everywhere or
try.
something.
Sometimes they lock
Or he's got
down
the
the
spaceman
doorways,
boots
sometimes
on.
they don't. Depends if they got stuff that they're constructing inside. I'm afraid this one might be locked, though, but we could check.
No,
Yeah,
Huell
it's
could-
locked. They don't
Huell
want
could
people
break down a
going
door.
in.
No.
For sure.
It's just empty shell, nothing inside.
And look at this one over here.
Well, that's the
Huell's
Growing
moving.
Pains house. You remember the
He's
series
moving.
Growing Pains? Very
Sure.
famous show with Kirk Cameron.
Oh, now the
Was on
door's
for a
open
number-
over
This was the
here.
exterior of the house. The interior was on a soundstage. This is when they had the opening and closing credit shots on the film. And everybody could identify that show off of this home. You used to recognize it all the time when they came in here.
And look at this. When you stand here
This one is open. You can go in
and
here.
look over here, I mean, it looks like a neighborhood.
Absolutely. The grass and the trees and shrubs are all kept up by our greens department. We never know how soon they're going to decide to come out here and film.
Ah.
Here we go.
Well, there's more to it than I thought would be. I thought they were just shells. I mean, I thought they were just fronts.
Like a
This
turtle.
particular one is used as a dance rehearsal hall for musical numbers. They put mirrors in here, and when they have musical work that they have to do, they bring the dancers in, they do rehearsals for a number of weeks before they do the actual shot in the show.
Watch your step here, Louis. There's some cords. And we're back outside.
Right?
This is very Hollywood-like because you really do feel like you're on a town square with the gazebo and the church.
Yes.
It's all here.
That's right. Now, the church was used just recently on the Clint Eastwood directed film called Bird, about Charlie Bird Parker. And they did a lot of work on location, but they did some shots back on the set. Do you recall a picture called Ocean's 11
Yeah.
with Frank Sinatra and company? In the movie, they cremate Richard Connie's body in a church in Las Vegas along with the money. By mistake, they didn't bury it in cremation, and that's the church we used for that shot. This is supposed to have been in Las Vegas, but they shot that here.
Now, you know your movies, don't you?
Yes,
I
sir.
have heard that you are the movie man. How many movies have you seen in your life?
About 26,000. I keep books and records, and I see about 400 a year. I don't go every day. I go to 3 in one day and skip a couple of days. But I'm on my 24th volume of information, and I've seen every major picture made by Warner's and every major picture made by Paramount and Columbia and Universal and Fox and MGM and you name it. Wow. Yeah, it's just a hobby. It's part of my
I was
life.
not
is to
expecting
see
him to
film,
give a
and
number.
I mix that in with my job.
Now, what's coming in here?
26,000.
That's a
I keep
portable
records.
dressing room. Small one. They roll those onto the sound stages, and each one, a principal player is assigned a room. This is somewhere for them
Huell
to go
wants
to
to talk
study
to
their
him.
lines, or make a phone call, maybe have
Look up
their
there,
lunch,
Huell.
or take a nap even if they got a couple of hours of lighting between shots. They can just go in here and get a little privacy on the set. They have a lot of wardrobe and makeup. Some makeup work also can be done inside.
Now,
There's a
that
bunch of
looks
these
that
all
looks
over.
old to me, historic.
It's been here since the 40s and 50s, most of those. They're nice inside. They rebuild them inside, but the outside's the same.
Wow.
Now the Music Man, you're walking right where we did 76 trombones. This is all River City for the Music Man.
Right here,
The
where
whole
we're
set.
standing.
We robbed a couple of banks back here for Bonnie and Clyde. You remember seeing a film called Cool Hand Luke? You remember why Paul Newman was arrested? He was taking the tops off parking meters when he was drunk,
Right.
right along the sidewalk here. The shot was made right in here. That's a famous sequence from that film. So you can start, as we try to do, to give people a sense of a true history. This is one of the great pieces of land to do with American film. And about 1/5 of all the real history of American film that we all identify with all over the world happened right where you're standing.
Is this officially designated as a historic landmark?
Not officially in the city of Burbank, but I think we come pretty close to it in a lot of ways. It's a working studio, but I think there's a great argument there about the value of these areas down the road, let's say, of what they really mean to the general public.
Yeah, because I wouldn't want
Not
you
always
to
in the
tear
best
any of this
light.
down.
We don't want to
Even
do that
though
either.
they're
Shade.
just
I know it's probably
sets.
No, but
cooler
they
there,
use
but-
them all the time. They rebuild them, they change them. There's shows in
Probably
here
be better to
constantly
stand in
every
the
year.
sun.
And not only our shows, but
But
other
that's not
studio
important to
shows
you.
come in
You-
on a rental
it's important
agreements.
to
And,
be
oh,
comfortable
you
and
identify this stuff all the time. A
just
lot of
kinda
some
go with
great
the flow.
commercials are done here. I'm a pepper, you're a pepper, we're a pepper, Dr. Pepper. Remember that music? That was all back here. And I had a great commercial once. I forget the name of the product offhand, but it was a dog food. And they had like 120 dogs. They had these dogs this big to the biggest you've ever seen, all back here at one time running through this set.
So in other
So you
words,
do it.
what you're saying is on any given day, you never know what you're going to see or hear on the Warner
Absolutely.
Brothers lot.
That's exactly right. People taking this tour 5-6 times in 20 years never had the same tour twice. They've even told me that.
So every day is different.
Every day is different. We don't use routes, we don't use scripts. I don't believe in that. I think it's better to give the people a taste of this studio the way it is the day you're here. And take that home with you as a realistic part of what we do. We're sharing it with you.
People must love this.
I hope so. I like to think so because we try hard, and I think the lot is in itself is like it's going through a museum and it's going to see a working studio boat.
Now where are we going?
We're going into the front lot where we have our sound stages. We have about 32 buildings in here that are all marked and numbered. That are used for filming both television and motion pictures, and we're working our way down toward stage 16, which is the highest stage in the world. It's our biggest stage we've got here.
Wow.
Right around the corner here.
Look over here. Oh, wow, what a shot. They just lined up, one right after the other. So you've got a lot of sound stages here.
Some of the most of any studio in the United States, and they're always in use. One feature may take 2 to 3, 4 stages up. TV shows, maybe 1 to 2 stages are tied down with each show that comes along and becomes successful. For example, ER right now, which is a very big hit, they have a sound stage that's all tied with their hospital sets, so that'll be down permanently.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 right here in this
Yeah.
one line.
And this big one right here, number 16, this is the big one, over here to the left side.
So we're going to go in this one.
Well, I'll take a look and see what they're doing. I hope the doors are open. We can take a peek here and see.
Okay, here we go, right on to stage 16. And this is a big sound stage.
Now, it is the highest stage in the world. The entire floor that you're walking on can be taken up. It goes down about 8 feet. The whole interior can be filled with water. They do ocean scenes inside the stage. It's
Now,
called the lake stage underneath.
What is going on up here now?
A big cylinder set that was used originally in Batman Forever. That's the new Batman film. It's being struck now. The picture comes out this summer, opens June 16th all over the country. And this was a set piece from a show, a sequence in the show that's being, the word is struck. It's being removed. We shot some of Jurassic Park in here. We did some of Close Encounters of a Third Kind, My Fair Lady, The Batman Returns, the second Batman.
Look at the size of this, Louis.
Careful.
This is an
I
amazing.
always have to worry about heel safety.
Look at those big statues. This is wonderful. Now, is it okay for us to be in here?
Well, yeah, they're striking the set. They don't want anybody to look at too much of the stuff because they want a surprise with the film coming out. But do you remember Disclosure with Michael Douglas, Demi Moore? The big picture about the sexual harassment case in reverse? We did last year. This is where we built the beautiful big office building. The entire interior of the whole office building, 2 floors of offices were constructed in here before they started building the sets they're building now.
Wow.
You remember Key Largo with Humphrey Bogart? Edward G. Robinson? This was the set back here. They had the house, the hotel by the water, the speedboat out in the ocean with the storm coming in. That was all shot in here.
Inside this sound stage.
My Fair Lady, Covent Gardens was in here. In Camelot, the round table room was in here.
Let's talk to one of these guys over here. Watch
Here we
your
go.
step over here, Louis.
All right.
There's a cord.
Gonna find someone.
Howdy. What are y'all working on over here?
Well, we're just cleaning up our spray equipment.
Uh-huh.
We're just spray painting.
So you are used to working on this particular sound stage?
Depending on where the movie is, what movie we're doing.
So you're all over the lot.
Yes, we are.
Now, see, you're used to all this. For me, this is exciting for me. Are you used to seeing tourists like me
Well, no,
gawking?
Actually, it's kind of exciting for me to see you. I was just telling my friend that I was just watching you last night on TV. So.
Yeah, but I mean, usually you could tell a
Yeah.
tourist, can't you?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
They come by on the tour all the time, and we wave or,
Tell them inside Hollywood stories.
Well, we don't get a chance to talk too much. We're usually busy working.
Do you know some inside Hollywood stories?
Well,
Uh-oh.
no, not really.
Yeah,
they don't
do.
share too many with me.
Are there inside Hollywood stories to tell?
There's always wonderful inside Hollywood stories to tell. I always like to think of the fun ones that have a lot of happy endings to them and all the hard work involved. You know, we're talking about the greatest art ever created. It's art imitating life, your dreams, and your nightmares, all three. That's what a film is. And I think that's the biggest inside story you can give you, is that we're art recreating life. And all the arts that are in life are in a movie.
Well said.
26,000
And we'll be back
movies.
to talk to these fellas over here about their inside stories later on. We'll be back, fellas.
This is the crafts building. This is the largest structure in the studio. It's 131,000 square feet. There are 3 levels to it. You can build anything from a watch to an airplane in here and make it work. And we try to always go through the center of this building with our tour guests because it's very fascinating. Everything from
Oh, wait a
plumbing,
minute. Stop. We got to look in here. Look at this. We got bathtubs in here.
all kinds of
Pretend like there's
fixtures.
a
They
break
can
in
build anything you want. Virginia Mayo took a milk bath in the silver chalice in the original of this tub right here
Good.
in 1954.
Read.
Some of this stuff goes back
these
to
aren't
silent
working,
film.
Look at this.
Then you get the urinals that are made out of rubber for all those shots when Sylvester Stallone throws some guy into the urinal, right? You got to
Look at
make it
all
out of
this.
softy material.
Oh,
I
look
genuinely
at
get happy when
this.
Huell's happy.
Now, where else but the back lot of Warner Brothers are you going to see something like this?
Like a fountain. One overflows, goes into the next.
Look at, wait a
This is a
minute.
prop shop. This is a prop shop.
Oh my
They make
God.
miniatures in here in full size. Depends on what you need.
Oh my gosh.
Why didn't you show me this first?
Look at this.
Hey,
Hey,
It's way better than the forest.
how you doing?
Your show?
Thank you. What are you working on?
Well, I'm making some
Huell's
burlesque
know.
stage lights.
People know Huell.
If you don't get out,
Burlesque stage lights.
you don't get out of here, I'll kill myself. Ready? It's fake. It's movies. Welcome to the prop shop. This is where we make props. Tastes good too. Get you a Marine? I got a Marine.
Now, do you do this for tourists
Yes.
when they come through here?
Sometimes, yes.
So you've seen tourists like me come through here before.
Never, not
guy.
as famous as you. How you been?
This is your domain?
This is it. This toy shop, Warner Brothers toy shop. We
Do some more tricks.
This is Mel Gibson, Forever Young, the movie where he crashed the airplane right at the beginning. That's the plane they crashed.
Give me a tour around here.
Okay. We have a show,
Huell
Hope
pretending
and
to flush
Gloria,
urinals.
where we
This
had to make
guy.
a snowman.
Cutting himself
So-
with a razor blade.
We make a paper mache snowman.
That was like 0 to 10.
Then we use different chemicals to make it look like snow. Want to feel how
It feels cold.
it feels cold? All it is salt, and we use a little sodium silica.
Wow.
That's a secret. Now I got to kill you.
Now,
Get that razor blade back.
what happens? They give you an assignment and you have to.
The writer will write a gag, and then we embellish on it. You want to step over here? I'll show you some of the stuff we do. In the movie Lethal Weapon 2, Danny Glover was remodeling his house, and then he shot the bad guy in the head. So what they do, they bring us a real gun, and then we make a phony one. This one's made out of foam, so nobody can accidentally put a real bullet in there.
Foamy
it's
one.
safety for the actors and stuff. We do a lot of balsa wood furniture. You want to feel this?
Oh, wow. So this is what they would use to break over somebody's head
In a cowboy fight.
because there's nothing to it.
It's just balsa wood.
What's the moose head for?
It was a TV show called, let's see. Excuse me. People Next Door.
The people next door.
It was a. Oh. It has a lot of mechanical parts.
You know, I think you have more fun than anybody
I
else.
think so too. See, he wanted to be a St. Bernard for Halloween
How long have you been here?
all day. About in and out about 14 years.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm sure glad we ran into you.
Well, welcome.
You're worth the tour right away.
This is the toy shop.
these are all the metal and tin shops, and out there is the wood shop mill. The mill where they do all the actual building of the sets in the big mill out here.
Look at this. So this is
It's
a
the mill.
huge.
This is where they build the sets.
This is a huge operation. Look at the size of this. This is amazing.
Does that guy know Louis? Louis the
Look
cameraman?
over here. Boy. Look at this, Louis. A lot of activity.
They're building all the sets for the different TV shows and features they're putting together. They put them together here, then you dismantle them, take them to the stages, and reassemble them. But they make sure they fit properly by being manufactured in here first in the mill.
Okay, We're off.
The staff shop did a lot of sculpture work in here. We got some sculpture designs on the Oscar here. We've done a lot of the sculpture work to put on the display with the set they actually have at the show itself.
And look at all of this.
Oh, some of this stuff goes back, and some has been here a long time.
Now this
They do all the mold casting. They have a vacuum form machine in here for this type of thing, and they have all the stores of molds that are inside here.
Look at this.
They use the plaster and fiber hand mixing is done to put the stuff together.
Look at this. This is absolutely amazing. So they are actually making molds,
Constantly. Rubber plastic indents to the molds. They make copies. You can duplicate any material lightweight. And after you make a mold, you store it. Give it a number, you store it, and you never throw it away. Use it again. Everything is saved and used. Some of these molds go back to the 30s, to the 20s. Some were built last year. Have a second building to the back. We had to add a second building because we had so much stuff to give room for the rest of them back in the back.
This is a treasure trove. Now I've run into Jerry, who is the...
manager of the staff shop at Warner Brothers.
And what is this?
These are samples for our department to look at if they're picking a treatment for their walls. We have different types of brick, different bricks, cinder block.
Wow. And you can make all of these.
We make all of this, yes. We have stone, rough treatments.
Look at this, tile, Spanish roof tile.
Rock, stone.
This is amazing.
So this helps our art department out. They can come in and get a visual look at what they're going to buy before they purchase.
Now this kind of looks like a cemetery over here.
These are just some set pieces that we have out for rent. They have been out on quite a few different shows.
Wow. This is amazing. And now what are these made of?
These are made out of plaster. We do have one piece that is made of stone, and that's the statue on the back right.
This one right here.
Yes, we made a copy. We made a mold on that and then reproduced it.
What's this little thing here?
I forgot what show we did it for, but we made about a dozen of them. The little monkey. The monkey.
Oh, the monkey. Oh,
Yeah,
I don't know.
You know what it is?
It was an outside. We do a lot of outside work here in our shop, and it was one of our outside contracts.
Well, I've asked everyone else that we've gone through in the prop department, has there ever been anything you couldn't make?
Never. We'll do it all.
What an exciting lot.
Very busy right now. A lot of things going on. Here we go.
This is another, oh, this is stage 16 again.
Yeah, the other side is stage 16. Yeah.
Wow. And look at this. Can we go down this way?
If you like, sure.
What's...
Well, we'll go past the Crafts Building around the front of 16 and work our way up toward Hennessy Street, where we're going next to what they're doing Lois and Clark right now.
So every time we turn a corner, there's something...
There's people working, there's things going on, things being constructed, being built. The key is, no matter if it's an office building or a department or a set, everything in the studio is fair game to shoot in. In other words, if a show can use a phone booth on a corner or someone's office, they do it. Even our tour building has been used for filming.
Look at all the activity. That's what I'm kind of surprised with.
All the
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people there, a lot of different crafts going on at one time.
And you're right when you say crafts, because these are all
crafts.
very highly skilled people.
There's a lot of
aren't
crap
they?
going on.
Very highly skilled. A lot of times the training programs are years in length as far as being apprentices before they become full-time in their
Not a full
particular
stop,
art.
officer. That was not a full stop.
Here we go. Now we're going to go down past the stage and we're going to what we call our New York Street Park, past the New York Street, and we'll be going over to Hennessy Street from there.
Hennessy Street.
That's Dale Hennessy who designed the sets for some big pictures, and they named the set after him. We got a fitness center, very complete.
Howdy, ladies. How you doing? Now, y'all just out for a walk? Louis, you can just stay there. Let me talk to him for a minute. Come here, come here, come here. What do y'all do here on the lot?
Oh, workers' comp insurance.
Oh, workers' comp. Oh, boy. I don't have any claims to file.
You got to talk to
Okay.
lawyers.
Okay.
You have fun working here?
Yes.
I mean, what's the excitement of being on the lot day in and day out?
The excitement, there's a lot of excitement around here. seeing all the stars walk around, and it's interesting.
So you never get tired of seeing the stars?
Oh, no, no.
Are there rules about what you can and can't ask of a star? I mean, as an employee, would you go up and ask for an autograph?
No.
That's a no-no,
No.
right?
I don't know if it's a no-no, but I wouldn't do it. Yeah.
Besides, you're used to seeing so many of them, it's no big deal, is it?
Right. I've been here for a while.
What?
I said I've been here for a while, so you kind of get used to it.
Yeah, another jaded employee of Warner Brothers.
You want to
Where's
take a
her
look at the
friend?
fitness center?
Her friend
You have
is
a fitness
gone.
center? Complete. You want to see how big it is? I mean, you've got a minute. We're right there. Or we can go on to the set, whatever you
Well,
want
let's
to do.
go
Some
on to
people
the
want
set.
nothing to
Let's
do
go
with
on
you.
to the
That's over
set.
there.
I think they should see the
That's
camera.
adjoining
I mean, if
Clint
you saw a
Eastwood works
camera,
out in
you're like,
there.
I got to get to
Mel
lunch.
Gibson works out in there, and all the
There
rest
she
of the
is.
stars.
Clint Eastwood works out in your
her,
fitness
Huell.
center.
Many
Oh, she's
times.
waiting.
He's been here since 1971 on this lot. He's a production officer of Mel Paso Productions. He's done almost all of his shows.
Oh, look
with
at
us.
this.
Yeah, we're getting into this. Is the old New York Street. This goes back to 29. I shot all the gangster films in here. You ever see a film called Blade Runner?
Yeah.
Harrison Ford. That was the stuff from Blade Runner. We fixed up like a City of the Future. You ever see The Great Race with Jack Lemmon, Tony Curtis, Natalie Wood? That was the start of The Great Race. So you got it.
And look at this.
This dressing in here, I believe is for Lois and Clark, but I'm not positive because they fit stuff in and out so much. Like the mailbox and the...
Boy, now there's a limo. There's somebody,
Yeah.
some stars here. I guess you're used to seeing limos,
Yeah,
aren't you?
limos here all the time. Actually, probably being used on a show.
Well, we've taken a little break in our VIP studio tour, and we've come for lunch over here at the Warner Brothers Commissary. And before lunch is served, I'm kind of reading up on what's happening in the showbiz entertainment business these days with the latest edition of Daily Variety. A lot going on here. Excuse me, just a minute. There's a phone call here. Yeah, ready when you are, CB.
He's fitting in.
Okay, fellas. You're the only legal graffiti artist in town.
Yeah, I guess. I guess we're getting paid for this.
I assume this is part of your job.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes we have to do
What
this.
were you asked to do today?
Graffiti, I guess.
So that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Spraying the side of the truck. Come on, give us a show here. And the alley too. There they go, spraying. Boy, they're doing a great job there. This is just part of it, isn't it?
Yeah, this is also for Lois and Clark. Yeah.
Look at this. Let's walk down here.
Sure.
And this is an amazing
There's
view over
see
here.
the Daily Planet right here? This is the entrance right here. It's in the corner, right off the side.
Uh-huh.
The Daily Planet right here.
Oh, here's the Daily Planet
Entrance in right here. Yeah.
building.
But this set goes back to the old Humphrey Bogart, Jimmy Cagney gangster films. Eddie Robinson, George Rapp, Paul Muni, John Garfield all worked in here.
All worked here.
Many times. That's the new theater and museum we're building over here in this corner. That's what's under construction. That man showed you the big emblem that they're building at the staff shop. He was talking about putting it up in this unit here.
Wow.
They are still a few months away from completion.
Now, how does Warner Brothers, as far as a studio lot, stack up historically with the other studios in town?
Oh, we are definitely one of the oldest, most established studios in the country. 1926 is when they actually laid the groundwork for this plant. Warner Brothers got here in 29. Universal goes back to about 1918, but basically we're one of the two physically largest studios in the country, Universal being the other studio. So we basically go back to the very early days. You know, silent film was something Warner Brothers made in the sound. They made all the first talkies. So we go back to 1918 with feature making. So
and Warner Brothers has always been on this lot.
Since 29. Before this, they were at Sunset and Vanessa in Hollywood. And they were over there for like about 5-6 years before they moved from the east out here about 1920. From 20 to 26, 27, they were in Hollywood. Then they moved to Burbank, the latter part of the 20s.
And they've been here ever since.
Now,
are there other studio tours?
Yes, well, of course, Universal has the big commercial tour. Paramount has a nice small tour, similar to ours. And NBC, Channel 4, has a tour. But that's it. As far as I know, the other studios don't do it. Just the four of us do it. And we all are a little bit different.
And you get the idea that people come on this tour. Why? Because they want to see. We want to see stars.
Well, I think a lot of people hope to see a star, and we would love to point them out if we can. But a lot of days that's not the way it works. That we really are showing the studio itself and how it operates, to show the real working studio, the way films are made. And I think people become, as they take this tour, become very fascinated with the behind the scenes nuts and bolts of a place like this. We try to emphasize that, and we try to give them a little bit of the glamour along with that. We try to take them to a set if we can. We point out people if we see, and every day there are big names walking through, not only just big stars, big directors, big writers, famous authors, famous producers, famous camera people. There's Academy Award winning categories right down the line. All these people from time to time work on this lot, and we kind of know who's here. And we kind of keep track of that and kind of point that out.
So this tour is really an educational tour.
The exact word I wanted you to use, because that's what we think of ourselves as. We educate the public a little bit about this wonderful business that we're in a realistic sense, to give them a taste of what this art's all about.
And you know, I'm just thinking about this. I bet that most of your tour people are tourists and not locals who live here in Southern California. I bet not many of us come through here.
No, we get some. We got a nice little book in our office, a guest book that we put in a while back, and we kind of track where the people come from. We get a lot of people from Germany, Japan, and Brazil, and Canada, and Australia, and from all the different states, the Midwest, the East. We get some locals. It's a real strange mixture. We get a little bit from A to Z. We get a lot of people who have an interpreter with them. They don't even speak our language, but they do understand our tour because they understand American film.
Do you think we know very much, really, about how movies are made?
I think a lot of people are a little bit off on the exact way it works. I think they think it's a little bit more glamorous and more fun, and not so much hard work. And once they get through this tour, we like to point out to them that this is a great career, but you got to really be energy. A lot of energy to you, and this is a difficult job. I think a fun, difficult job, but it's not easy to be anything in this business, because we're talking about perfection, and everybody is perfectionist, with the director being on top of that, and they're all trying their best to give you the best that they can do.
Yeah. Well, I hate to tell you, but it's also hard to be here very long and not get bitten by the movie bug.
Well, I know. I've been here 37 years, and I've always been bitten a little bit, but I've given up the hopes of being the next Steve McQueen or Robert Redford a long time ago. I'm just happy being the tour director for the plant. I'm happy
the next
there.
Phil Donahue.
We're going into the Lois and Clark shoot, which is on the Hennessy Street, one of our exterior sets over here. It should be working right around the corner here to the right.
Quiet.
This looks like a real city here.
Yeah, real street. Here we go.
Oh.
Here we are.
So they're actually shooting.
Yes, they are, right now in rehearsal, and they just did a take a minute ago, and I guess they got ready for another shot. Camera's over here, I believe, to the left side. This was used in Annie. Remember Annie years ago?
Yeah.
Big musical, John Huston directed. He also shot City Heat here with Eastwood.
Are you an actor? Are you an actor?
Yeah, I'm playing a bad guy on this. I'm actually going to be doing a little bit of action today.
Do you have lines to learn?
Actually, this character doesn't speak. His name's Klaus.
So he just hurts people.
Yeah, exactly.
So actually, you're getting your lines right now.
I'm ready. I think I'm prepared. Yeah.
Well, good luck.
Yeah,
How long before you're going to be?
Don't know. So this business, you hurry up and wait. So,
Yeah.
So we'll hurry up and wait in here.
Now, will we be able to see you on TV and some?
Yeah, you'll see me all through this thing.
On Lois and Clark.
Lois and Clark.
We'll be watching.
All right.
Wow.
Hope I'm not giving away anything.
I met somebody who's getting ready to go on.
Yeah, he's one of the bad guys in this.
That guy got in trouble for talking
Now, they're
to
working
you.
a rehearsal up in here. And
We saw you last
this is one
night
of the
on
shows
Public
we visit
Access.
from
What
time
are you
to time.
doing?
Now, how
Giving
close
you
can
all
we
the
get?
Well, let's wait. I'll let you know in just a second.
Because I don't want to.
Where do you want us to go from here?
Who are you?
I'm the publicist.
Oh, you're the publicist. I'm Huell Howser.
Huell and Neil Schubert.
Nice
to
to
meet
meet you.
Thanks.
Somebody taller
What
than
stars are here today?
The only star we have right now is Justin Whalen, who plays Jimmy Olsen on the show. So Dean and Terry aren't here yet.
When are they going to get here?
Probably in a few hours.
So we have to wait a
If
couple
you
of
want to.
hours?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So you're fine shooting, in this direction.
We can go up this
The
way.
camera in the car? Is that
Yeah.
right? Oh, the camera's in the car. Looking that way. The camera's in the car. Here they go.
Look at this.
He's just walking. All right, here. That's fine, right here.
And let's roll. B. Marking. Tell me when you're set. I'm set.
And background action.
Action.
Yeah.
Cutting. First positions right away.
No dialogue, just an establishing shot of what's going on behind them. They're looking out the car into the streets, and the extras, SEEG members that go back and forth, and someone goes in that door, it says 320 on it, and that's the cut. It's about a 30-second shot. They're going to do it again. They're going to do it again. Sometimes they do it lots of times.
Here he goes again. Let's roll.
Rolling. B. That was his first time. Yeah, marking. Okay, we're set.
And background.
Action.
Cutting.
He's not happy.
30. How's yours?
Wow.
There you go. That's it. That's a
That's
shot.
it?
That's a shot. They probably do the same thing again. You get for the next shot. They get about
Would he honk the horn at the
7-8 minutes a
Turks?
day. It's a 6.5, 7-day shoot for an hour show.
You know
it's
he
an hour
wasn't supposed
series.
to honk.
So and it's shot on film, 35mm film, just like a movie.
Can we walk right over
Yeah,
here?
sure. These are all crew. This is your sound
Maybe in
recorders
it?
right here.
Put Huell in this. Please put Huell in this show.
Great. So you get a nice view of what's happening out here. Here he goes.
Turn around. They're gonna do it again.
Here we go. And let's roll.
I'm up.
B.
Marking.
And background.
Background. Action.
Wow.
I love your show.
Well, thank you
I
very
watch it all
much.
the
This
time.
is very exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Giving you
It really is.
What are you? You're the sound guy.
I'm the boom man.
Right. So you're
I have
used
a
to
longer
working.
pole than you do.
Yeah. You're used to working in the middle of all.
Oh
this.
yeah, absolutely. Been doing
He's
it
never
for
said that before.
22 years.
Now, are you used to seeing tourists like me stand around here and gawk at what you all are doing?
There's always some kind of news media around us all the time, yeah. And we love it. We love the attention. We really do. Because we're in our own little world, and it's kind of nice to see let the rest of the people in the real world see what we do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is.
Very exciting.
It is
Who
exciting.
is this man? This man is serious.
The first AD is a really important guy.
Ah.
He makes everything happen for us. Alrighty, thank you.
Thank
AD
you.
means assistant director.
Wow, this is kind of interesting to see.
There's about 60 in the crew, members to the crew, and there's about maybe 20, 30 in the cast. So there's nearly 100 people involved.
Yeah. Look at all these people over here.
You got wardrobe here, you got makeup, you got sound, you got your electricians, you got your transportation people, you got your camera crews. Recordist is right here. You got wardrobe, makeup back up in here. So you got a little of everything working in here. Put the show on.
Now, what is this up here?
They're taking out some shadows, blocking some shadows, some people that are need to be on the set. It brings the lighting down to a certain degree. You need the same time of day for hours to do a shot.
Wow. I wish, you know, it's kind of hard to I don't know whether this translates or not, but there's a lot of energy
It
here.
has to be. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Now, this TV, you should see a big feature. Like I was on Fair Lady, and some of those pictures you wouldn't believe. 200-300 people just bustling around, got their job. They know what they're doing. They all kind of long link chain it into the next shot. And of course, the captain's the director. He's the captain of the ship. You know, he's pushing everything along.
Video.
Are there any stars around here?
No, the two principals, Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher, that played Lois and Clark, they're not in the shot they're doing right now. They're just doing some back shots with the street, establishing shots of people going in and out of the door. You know, they schedule out the 6.5-day shoot. Everyone is condensed into what shot they need. They don't shoot the show in the order you see it. They shoot in the order of the sets through. That's better that way.
Well, but that's really now back to what we were talking about, because we never know. Let's finish up over here, Dick.
Huell, you're the most
You
famous
never
person
really
there
know
right now.
for sure
That's gotta feel
what
pretty
you're
cool.
going to see when you go on a VIP tour of Warner Brothers.
Exactly. You might come in here, there might be a shot, might be rehearsal, might be set construction, there might be 3 sets in a row going on, maybe something going on in the scoring stage musically, might be something in post-production.
So what we have seen today, we have not seen anything that the average tourist like us couldn't see on one of these tours.
Exactly, and it's the only day you're going to see it. When you come back, if you came back here tomorrow, it'd be a whole different day than today. Everything would be all different tomorrow.
Well, thank you very much for the tour.
Well, thank you for coming.
This has
Huell. It was
been
nice to meet you.
very exciting.
I'm glad you
Here
enjoyed
we are on Hennessy Street, and we have had an absolutely wonderful day. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Let's get one more shot over here. This is it, the lot at Warner Brothers, a very exciting place. This is definitely Hollywood.
Oh, Burbank.
Okay, here comes a tour group right now. Now, what have you all seen so far?
Well, we've seen the set of the show Friends, and we got to walk around that, and
We saw the production backstage, how they made everything, watched them make some backdrop sets.
So you've learned a lot today.
Yes, I have learned a lot.
Now, is this the first time you've ever been on a studio tour?
Oh, actually, it's the second time. It was so good the first time. Then
Really?
I had to come back. Yeah. It was wonderful because you get to see everything behind the scenes, and it's different every time you come out.
Now, let's face it. Are you a little bit hopeful that maybe on one of these tours some big producer or director might spot you and go, I need you for this scene?
Well, that's just kind of a given, that you come on here to do.
we paid extra. I thought that was what we were going to get. No, we have a wonderful
Waited for
tour
a big
guide.
break, just driving around.
It really is the 4th time we've been around the same spot.
Do you get that a lot?
Yes, kind of. No, they're wonderful. They're great to take around. People are so interested in how it's all done, and every time you go, they're just happy to be where they are, and they're great groups. This is great for me,
Well, this is American
She wants to
history.
be
I mean,
in the
this is
shoot- in the
educational,
shoot,
like they
too.
said before we came out. We all grew up, from our parents to us. This is like seeing old relatives, and it's America. I mean, that's what I think.
Wow.
You'll love that.
Seriously, it is. It's not like going to Washington, D.C., but it really is. It's our heritage. It's our entertainment heritage, I guess.
This is one of the great pieces of land to do with American film. And about 1/5 of all the real history of American film that we all identify with all over the world happened right where you're standing.
Visiting with Huell Howser is made possible through a generous grant from the Ralph M. Parsons Foundation.
I gotta look them up. Ralph M. Parsons. Oh, all right. Oh, well, thank you guys so much for watching an episode of Huell Howser with me. And again, if you guys like this video, like and subscribe. That'll let me know that I should make more. And yeah, go check out some more Huell Housers of your own. There'll be plenty more where that came from. Take care, guys, and have a good one.